In the mysterious universe of Proverbs, for enigmatic individuals capture the attention of those seeking wisdom. From the pages of ancient literature, Solomon warns us firmly, never trust those who engage in this in the first place. The wisdom emanating from these ancient writings immerses us in reflection on human nature, highlighting a particular personality that the wise king urges us to avoid, the fool. While the term fool may evoke various images in our minds, the biblical view of this subject reveals deeper and more significant layers. Through the book of Proverbs, we will explore who this enigmatic individual is and why Solomon's warning resonates through the ages. In the intriguing world of Proverbs, an enigmatic character emerges, someone who, upon joining any group, immediately unleashes conflicts among its members. Every time this mysterious individual hints at the pages of Proverbs, controversy surrounds them. Wisdom advises young people to stay away, a suggestion that resonates with the counsel Paul gave to Titus about those who sow discord. Who is this troublemaker referred to as a fool? It's not just someone stupid, but a being who could be a lawyer, a judge, a pilot, or any other professional. Among these individuals, a peculiar category stands out, the quill, the kezel, with the latter being the most common. In the vast compilation of Proverbs, this phrase is mentioned 49 times, describing those who are stubborn and obstinate, rejecting the knowledge of others with their narrow vision. From Paul's advice to the admonitions of the book of Proverbs, it is revealed that wisdom confronts those who disdain it. How long will the simple ones, who find pleasure in their own ignorance, persist in their disdain? Wisdom, often ignored, tests patience, demanding an explanation for their contempt and posing the question, how long will they reject the help of wisdom? This warning resonates with prolonged rejection, where wisdom has been disregarded time and time again. The simple ones, who take delight in their simplicity, are faced with the crucial question, how long will this dangerous game of ignoring the call of wisdom persist? The answer, shrouded in mystery, is revealed in the decisions of those who choose to revel in their own simplicity. Dwelling in innocent ignorance instead of rising, making the necessary adjustments demanded by love and the pursuit of wisdom, Proverbs 18 verse 2, is like remaining static, like an enigma amidst a constant flow. While the wise find delight in understanding and wisdom, those lacking in understanding seem to cling to their own stubbornness, expressing their hearts without enjoying the richness of knowledge. Picture someone who, like a post in the middle of a stream, watches as the current of life flows around them, yet they remain unmoved, more interested in expressing their own thoughts than in learning. The light of the fool, according to the proverb, is found in unrestrained self-expression. The text introduces us to different types of foolishness, such as the navel, mentioned 3 times in the Proverbs. This individual lacks spiritual and moral perception, acting arrogantly and frivolously. They disdain wisdom and discipline, revealing a closed mindset to the pursuit of God. Delving into the mind of this navel exposes a resistance to acknowledging the existence of God, closing the doors to divine wisdom. In a world that invites reflection and the search for meaning, this character persists in their misguided priorities and finds pleasure in the wrong places, deviating from the path of understanding and insight. What mysteries lie behind this obstinate choice? In the fascinating journey through the divine existence, an intriguing contrast emerges between the fool and the wise. The undeniable evidence of God's presence outlines the characteristics of the foolish individual, whose being is closed to reason. Their violent and swift temperament, described in Proverbs 29 verse 11, reveals an uncontrolled outpouring of emotions. However, the wise person stands as an enigma, containing their feelings with the skill of one who knows the right time and place to express themselves. Proverbs 12 verse 16 proclaims that the wise, unlike the fool, masters anger and covers shame with prudence. The difference between the two is clear: the fool acts impulsively, while the wise person reflects before responding. This narrative not only highlights the need for self-control but also reveals that the fool takes pleasure in evil, considering it a competitive sport. Proverbs 10 verse 23 suggests that for the fool, doing evil is a competition, each one striving to outdo the other in wickedness. In contrast, the understanding individual seeks wisdom and avoids evil, finding satisfaction in a higher perspective. The question that arises is, how should we confront this human enigma? Recognizing the difficulty is presented as the first step, as the fool will create a scene when confronted publicly. Proverbs 29 verse 9. The dialogue between the wise and the fool may trigger anger or mockery, but neither of these responses leads to peace. In this dance between wisdom and folly, peace becomes an elusive challenge as both continue their search for meaning. Facing a fool requires caution, and the crucial question is, how to handle them. Initially, recognizing the challenge is fundamental, as indicated in Proverbs 15 verse 5, where the fool despises paternal instruction. However, intervening in time can make a difference. Sharing the gospel and praying for that person, as Tito 3:5 suggests, is essential, remembering that we all were, at some point, foolish. Furthermore, the text invites us to reflect on laziness, a factor that deceives its victims with a false sense of security. Laziness goes beyond physical inactivity, plunging a person into a deep sleep that carries consequences, such as hunger according to Proverbs 19 verse 15. Laziness has a high cost, visible when others perceive the lack of effort. The author warns about the risk of falling into the trap of inactivity and scarcity, reminding us that laziness does not go unnoticed, revealing the true nature of the one who practices it. Thus, the text urges us to reflect on our actions and how they influence our lives and relationships. Discover the dark fate reserved for those caught in the clutches of laziness. Poverty, stealthy and cruel, looms unexpectedly, akin to the stealthy attack of a thief at the most inconvenient moment. What is the intriguing internal character of the lazy one? Beyond their lack of motivation, a humorous portrayal emerges of someone who initiates projects but lacks the will to see them through, much like the lazy one who reaches into the plate but fails to bring the hand to the mouth. This lazy being is trapped in an endless cycle of unrealized internal desires and clever excuses to evade work. Can you imagine someone who always finds reasons not to start, convinced that the timing is never right? Winter never ceases, the earth is always too cold, and any excuse is valid when the heart is determined to avoid effort. Moreover, the lazy one deceives oneself, creating imaginary threats, such as a lion lurking in the streets. However, the real threat is not the fictional lion but laziness itself. How can someone consider themselves wise when clinging to the illusion that procrastination is wisdom? Explore more about the intriguing fate of those who succumb to laziness, where excuses intertwine with imaginary dangers, and the real threat lies in the mind of the lazy one. Are you enjoying this biblical explanation and want to continue receiving more videos like this? Subscribe to the channel now and activate the notification bell so you don't miss any news. Don't forget to leave your like so that YouTube recommends all the videos for you. In the eyes of the beholder, 7 individuals hold sensible secrets about how their actions impact the environment. How does apparent laziness transform into a nuisance for others? A proverb likens it to vinegar for teeth and smoke for the eyes. Those who hire or supervise a lazy person feel irritation at their lack of diligence and disinterest in work. The impression is clear: an unproductive employee is more bothersome for their superiors than for themselves. This brief proverb illustrates the discomfort of assigning a task to a lazy servant. Moreover, the lazy person becomes costly for others, akin to a great destroyer according to another proverb. Laziness manifests as a form of theft, living at the expense of others' work. Being lazy reveals itself as a form of selfishness, where personal comfort is the primary concern. Laziness is negligence, the omission of fulfilling what ought to be done. What are the outcomes of the lazy person's life? Lack and poverty come like thieves, while frustration takes hold of the one consumed by desires without action, watching as their hands refuse to work. The lazy person's existence becomes that of dissatisfied angels, lacking satisfaction and feeling gradually devoured. How can a lazy person heal? Perhaps they can learn from examples in nature, as the proverb suggests: approach the ant, O lazy one. Contemplate the paths with care and gain wisdom. Proverbs 6 verse 69 highlights the ingenious strategy of the ant, which, lacking a leader or supervisor, gathers provisions in summer and collects during the harvest. The lesson is clear: the lazy one must learn from the ant, adopting diligence at the right moment. Solomon challenges the lazy one, demanding an explanation for their behavior. How long will you sleep, O lazy one? Life goes on, and work persists. Sleep is essential, but excess sleep becomes the distinctive characteristic of the lazy, a form of escapism and rejection of facing the world, Ecclesiastes 5 verse 12. In the third point, the prominent category of the simple is revealed. These individuals, described in the Proverbs, are immature and easily influenced. The word simple, of Hebrew origin, suggests an indecisive perspective, susceptible to both positive and negative influences. This person is not irreligious or immoral, at least not yet. Rather, they are a naive individual taking their first steps on the path of life, facing the decision to approach or distance themselves from the Lord. Their eyes do not see beyond the corner, unaware of the dangers that lie ahead as they move carelessly toward their own destruction, Proverbs 1 verse 13. Solomon, in writing the Proverbs, had this person in mind, seeking to provide wisdom and instruction so that they would understand the words of understanding, receive instruction on wisdom, justice, judgment, and equity. The figure of the simple encompasses almost all youth and, unfortunately, many adults. What decisions will they make on their journey? Are you looking to safeguard your life from lurking evil ready to devour you? Wisdom is your best ally, but beware, lack of experience makes you vulnerable. Writing acts as a filter, helping you discern among the knowledge flooding your mind. Simplicity, a stage in everyone's development, is akin to adolescence, but did you know it can be dangerous? Simple individuals are credulous and vulnerable, on the verge of becoming fools. This crucial moment in life must be approached with extreme caution. Were you aware that the simple-minded are open-minded, easily influenced, and can wander off in unknown directions? On the other hand, the shrewd and cautious follow a straight and clear path. Proverbs 4 verse 15 warns us, "The simple believes every word, but the prudent considers well their steps." Wise individuals don't accept everything at face value, they think carefully about others and weigh their own decisions. But simplicity also has its dark side. Some take pride in their lack of discernment, finding pleasure in it. Have you ever wondered how long one should be simple? During youth, old age, or perhaps until the end of life? Another characteristic of the simple-minded is a lack of common sense and shrewdness in practical matters. They are easy targets for those attempting to seduce them, did you know? Not through active insistence, but because they are easily led. They have little foresight of imminent danger. Would you dare to explore the balance between simplicity and wisdom in your own life? Proverbs 7 verses 21 to 23 reveals intriguing advice in seductive words, where flattering lips immediately cause one to yield. The picture is captivating. Those seduced follow this influence like an ox to the slaughter or a fool to bodily correction. The plot thickens with the metaphor of an arrow striking the liver, like a bird falling into a trap without realizing the price it will pay with its life. In this dilemma, worldly advice is disclosed, inviting one to enjoy youth and make the most of the system before reaching adulthood. But what is the real cost of following this advice? What dangers lurk for those who ignore wisdom? The narrative takes an intriguing turn by comparing wisdom to a gracious woman offering generous hospitality, while folly resembles a loud and unpleasant woman. The difference between the prudent man, who anticipates evil and hides, and the simple one who moves toward punishment, adds a layer of mystery. At the heart of the story, the naive and those lacking wisdom are depicted as blind to the dangers around them. What will be the consequences of following simple paths and deviating from wisdom? The imagery of eating the fruit of their own actions and indulging in their fantasies creates a sense of inevitable self-destruction. The text raises questions about the love for folly and how it can culminate in death and destruction. But there is hope. Those who heed the call of wisdom will be safe and free from anxiety in the presence of evil. The narrative prompts us to question how we can correct the simple, suggesting that learning from the falls of others and receiving instruction may be key to acquiring knowledge and wisdom. Is this the path to avoiding the inevitable consequences of rejecting wisdom? Discovering the true essence of wisdom goes beyond mere instruction. It involves a deep connection with the Word of God. Each divine word is a light that illuminates the path for those seeking understanding, converting the soul and making the simple wise. But what about the scoffer, the one who scorns morality and delights in their contempt? Their character, framed by arrogance and a lack of humility, distances them from wisdom. Time, far from being the force that corrects simplicity, only reveals the need for conscious choices. Solomon invites us to make a deliberate decision, to renounce foolishness and pursue wisdom as an invaluable treasure. Those who do so will find invaluable benefits, while scoffers, by rejecting correction and despising wisdom, plunge into madness. Wisdom, according to Solomon, is intrinsically linked to humility. Those who understand the true nature of God and themselves will naturally exhibit this quality. Disdain for correction and a lack of compassion for others reveal a cold heart. The actions of the scoffer, deemed abominable by society, ultimately condemn themselves. Thus, the invitation to wisdom benefits the wise and just, but proves futile for those who reject receiving this precious divine gift. Would you dare to explore the path of true wisdom and humility? If you like this content and want to delve deeper into the biblical explanations, continue watching the videos recommended here on the channel. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.